I'm Nick Cook, the chairman of the Mini 7 Racing Club. Today we're at Thruxton for round 7 and 8 of our championship. Today you'll be seeing the Mini 7s racing along with the S-Class, and later you'll be seeing the Mini Melia, the 1300 class. These are sponsored today by Edgecombe's IT Consultants, and our main championship is sponsored by Dunlop, the tyre manufacturer.
Well, the Minis, of course, have been racing since 1959 when the car was introduced, and the Mini 7 Club since 1966 has had a national championship, and it frequently produces the best racing on the card. In the first of the Mini 7 races, poleman Paul Spark in the grey machine led fellow front row starter Gareth Hunt into the complex for the first time. The racing is always close. Here a little too close for Graeme Davis. The silver number 5 car tipped into a spin by close rival Ian Deviney. No damage done and he rejoins. Ian Deviney in the red car again showing classic Mini cornering style, throwing it inside the dark green car of Darren Thomas with Tristan Knight giving chase. While a recovering Graeme Davis also working his way past Thomas. It all got sorted out on the very last lap. Gareth Hunt leading, but a tyre-smoking opposite locking lunge from Paul Spark pulled off a remarkable pass for the lead, and he motored on to victory at the flag. The margin, literally inches. Well, Paul Spark winning that by 34 hundredths of a second from Gareth Hunt. It all came down, as so often, to the final corner. Well, a blustery Sunday at Britain's highest speed circuit, and ready for race 2 of the Dunlop Mini 7 Challenge, sponsored by Edgecombe's IT here at Thruxton. Again on pole, Paul Spark, with Gareth Hunt lining up alongside him once more. Indeed, the top half dozen in qualifying for the second race, exactly the same as they were for the first. So Nathan Burge and Graeme Davis with our camera on board on row 2. Ahead of Andrew and Ian Deviney on row 3. But problems before the start for Andrew Deviney. Look, left front puncture. He's come in with a vibration. Now the team have to find out why. Meanwhile, championship leader Ian sits on row 3 as they get ready to go. Oh, ambitious start on the far side from car number 5. And that is Graeme Davis. The Mini veteran making a really good lunge. He's going to have a go for the lead. He's already passed Gareth Hunt in the orange machine. And contact between Spark there and Davis. They're wheel to wheel, just a little rub. Paul Spark, the poleman, eased onto the grass, but he's got the inside line as they come up to the right-hander at Campbell. And he takes the lead. Davis in second place. A little bit of tyre smoke and undoubtedly a touch of contact further back. Paul Spark leads them out into the country as Andrew Deviney races out of the pit lane, but he's a long way behind. And the speed of this slipstreaming train will make it very hard for him to catch them on his own. So Paul Spark leading from Graeme Davis and Gareth Hunt, and battles all the way down the order as ever in Mini racing. Fourth place, good start for the number 24 machine, blue and yellow there, that's James Bowers-Colson. Oh, Anthony Towie goes a little wide in the dark blue car. He's off onto the grass. Well, at over 110 miles an hour around the back of the circuit on 10-inch wheels, you've got to be absolutely precise with your line. Now then, on board in second place with Graeme Davis, and he gets a great tow. Paul Spark's car moving around nicely at the back. With the Mini 7s, it's all about keeping the front wheels in the right direction. Let the back do whatever it wants. It'll eventually follow. And Davis with a great run up the inside. Has he done enough to take the lead? He's right there under braking, but either line works inside or outside, and Paul Spark cuts across his nose to take the lead. So great action where he took the win in the first race. Nathan Burge and Ian Deviney battling for 5th and 6th. Deviney the championship leader, and just in front 24 James Bowers-Colson, 25-year-old from Brixton in London. Well, these Mini 7s using a 998cc engine, and that harks all the way back to 1960s traditions. The 997, 998 Cooper S's. Now then, let's have a look. Are we rolling at the start? With Graeme Davis, just a little, but he feeds the power in superbly, really gets a good getaway. Just a standard 4 speeds on this gearbox. They'll still top 110 miles an hour here. A little contact there as he tried to close the door on Paul Spark. But again, Paul Spark on his own on the right of your picture. Graeme Davis has been towed by Gareth Hunt, who slips up the outside, tucks in. Now Davis will try and retake that second position under braking. Down into second for the chicane. You almost never use first after the start. So Paul Spark leading from Gareth Hunt, Graeme Davis. There's the championship points leader, Ian Deviney, now up in the top half dozen still. He's in 5th position there. Nathan Burge just in front, and James Bowers-Colson behind him. Well, the blue car here is David Robertson. Right behind him, 94, Robert Pavey, one of the S-Class cars, which has got standard 1275 engine and production gearbox. But on board with Robinson there for a moment or two. Another of the Mini 7s with its smaller but more highly tuned engine. And Paul Spark still leading. Gareth Hunt in second. Graeme Davis, car number 5, giving chase. On board then with Graeme Davis in the slipstream. You see fighting the front end of the car, making sure those wheels go exactly where he needs. You've got to be so precise at these speeds. No wavering at all from when you come out of Noble, basically foot flat to the boards all the way around here. Well, there is David Robinson. Now Robert Pavey in the S-Class car just in front of him. Drifting a little wide, Robinson with the inside line. Meanwhile, a big sort out at the top of the hill. And up into the lead has gone the number 5 machine for a moment, but Paul Spark scoots right around the outside of Graeme Davis. Again, great control in extremis by Paul Spark. The plumber having a really great run there. Gareth Hunt in 3rd place. So leads trio swapping places furiously. And behind, Nathan Burge and Ian Deviney just about clinging on to this ferocious pace as well. Paul Spark, our race leader, came here 2 points adrift of Ian Deviney in the championship, and with victory in the first race has taken over the lead of the series standings. And Neil Rayner coming into the pit lane, little bit of smoke trailing out from underneath the car. The high-speed exertions of Thruxton are a real strain on these engines and on all the components, including the software inside the driver. Nathan Burge there. Sounds like something's caught light in the engine bay. That's not good news. Luckily, the fuel tank is right at the back of the car, but let's not blow it, guys. Meanwhile, with our lead battle, we've got cars coming everywhere. That is Ian Deviney on the right, Nathan Burge on the left. Gareth Hunt takes the lead from Paul Spark. Major sort out there. Hunt throwing the car through the chicane. And all these front runners using a stiff anti-roll bar at the rear, picks the wheel up through the chicane, helps you turn the car through the corner. Now then, let's get down to the pit lane, catch up with Neil Rayner.
A spectacular way to end the race. Tell us exactly what's happened.
Well, I was coming into the chicane up here and put my foot to the floor on the clutch, and unfortunately the clutch pedal just stayed there, didn't come back up again. And then come back in, and the team said, unfortunately, it looks like there's a bit of a fire, and it was clutch fluid spraying onto the exhaust, so end of the race for me.
Well, like so many of these races, he'll be building and preparing the car himself, so back to the garage for the next race weekend. Meanwhile, Gareth Hunt, the race leader, under pressure from Paul Spark, the new championship leader, and it's now a 3-horse race. Graeme Davis in 3rd place, carrying our camera. These are the fastest 3 men in qualifying, and at the moment averaging well over 83, 84 miles an hour for the race, and that's phenomenal speed in a car that was designed in the mid-50s. 2008 S-Class champion Nathan Burge in the pit lane. He's had frontal damage and it has punctured the radiator. Meanwhile, look at the slipstream. Graeme Davis is getting up the hill. He comes. Gareth Hunt has a little weave out towards him, but he's got the lead. Hunt in the orange car in second. Paul Spark in 3rd place. This is typically frantic mini action, and Ian Deviney all on his own in 4th. You can barely see this happening. On to the last lap they go then. Graeme Davis has the lead. The orange car of Gareth Hunt right with him. And poleman Paul Spark turns extra tight inside. He's got 2nd place back. Now, can he make a last lap lunge to take victory as he did in race 1? Huge tyre smoking moment there. And again, watch the style of Paul Spark as he sweeps around the outside of Graeme Davis in the middle of the lap. Now that puts him in the lead as they go up the hill, and that is a disadvantage. You give away the toe, down into third, down into second, hard on the brakes, and again Sparks' car fighting him at the rear, but he just keeps the front end planted. He's got victory again. It's a double Thruxton winning weekend for Paul Spark. Ian Deviney inheriting third, because here's the battle for fourth. Darren Thomas, James Bowers-Colson and Gareth Hunt dropping all the way to sixth in the last laps. Well, despite setting the fastest lap of the race, Hunt struggling to the line, just taking a top half dozen finish. And plenty of other sort-outs on the way. Anthony Towie in the middle of this one. Julian Affleck in front, though, wins the S-Class. Well, Paul Spark makes it a double race winning weekend. A great time at Thruxton for him. So Paul, Graeme and Ian all making it onto the podium.
Paul, you've done the double here at Thruxton, and just how difficult was that?
The last race, it was very, very difficult. Really enjoyed it though. It's nice to have a bit of competition near the front, and the toe down the back was brilliant.
Now, to win 2 out of 2 at Thruxton with a place where it really can go any way, a certain amount of thinking whilst you're driving rather than actually just being flat out?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of thinking going on, but I think it's mainly to the last lap. You've got to be sort of second or third. You don't want to be leading the race because you just get pulled behind off the toe, and then you can get a good toe from the back and reel your way to the front.
And no way of breaking the toe from the guys behind you?
Not a chance. I tried.
Today, got a blinder of a start, led a couple of times in the race. Unfortunately, I was leading, started the last lap with Paul on my backside, and I was just sitting there waiting for him to come past. I thought about doing a do-or-die effort into the chicane, but I'd rather just finish, get the points.
Ian, around here at Thruxton, those minis must be extremely fun to drive, and it could have really gone any way at the end there.
Yeah, it really could, especially with Thruxton coming down the long straight. You can get such a draft. I mean, I almost got to the front from the back in that one straight. But next lap round, somebody can do it to you. So you've really got to be planning where you make your move and be a bit savvy about it. But it was good fun. Yeah, really good.